Morning, everyone. It's 1 minute past 9. So I'd like to call the McLeod County Board of Commissioners meeting to order on this December 16th, 2025, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, consideration of agenda items. Is there any additions or corrections?
I have an addition, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Request the addition of item 9H. Consider approving the collective bargaining agreement with the McLeod County, Minnesota Nurses Association unit for the period of January 1, 2026 through December 31, 2027. That will be under employee relations.
Okay, a 9H contract agreement has been added. Is there any other corrections or additions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda items?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion's made by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Second by Commissioner Schmalz. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda. Any additions or corrections there?
No changes, Mr. Chair.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheriff's Office, I guess, leads us today. Good morning, Mr. Stutz.
Good morning.
Morning.
So just to kind of give you a brief update on what's been going on with our Code Red system. Back in the early 2000s, the county contracted with a company called Code Red for our mass notification. That company has been since bought up by a company called OnSolve. And then there was two programs that they had. OnSolve had one program, and they kept what they called the legacy program, which was Code Red. In early November, we received notice that there was an incident occurred with Code Red, so their legacy program, where they had an attempt that someone got into their system or tried to get into their system. So at that point, then they shut down the Code Red system. They still have the OnSolve system going, but they'd shut down the legacy system. So it pretty much put us out as far as our mass notifications to the general public, and then also the internal notifications that we do with our own personnel. There's also a company, or the federal side has what's called IPAWS. IPAWS is a mass notification system that could be used in any kind of emergencies that occurs. And the feds, because of that possible breach, had actually contacted Code Red and then pulled away what they call their certificates for IPAWS. So at this point, we do not have any access into the federal system directly, so we have to go through the feds, and if we have an incident where you have to do an alert. So we've been kind of looking at what's been going on around the state of Minnesota, the neighboring counties, and we researched some of the other companies that are out there that do the mass notification. And we reviewed multiple ones, and we came up with a company that's called Regroup that will basically do everything that our Code Red system did. And believe it or not, it's actually at a reduced rate, greatly reduced rate. So that was kind of nice too. So it was actually maybe a good thing that we kind of went through and did this checking on it. So what I'm looking for today is approval to allow me to sign a contract then, and we're just going to do a 1-year trial with them for this Regroup company. The OnSolve for the Code Red company, the contract, if we would have gone forward with that for 2026, was $25,756.58. The Regroup contract it'll be $4,000 per year, And then the initial year is an extra $500, just so they can take all the information that we had from Code Red and then move that and integrate that into this new system. So any questions that you guys
I
have?
do have one or two. I remember getting notified about the Code Red thing, and I thought it was like a hack or something that was going on, and so I appreciate the update. Now, just the logistics of this, if we go with this new contract, you're comfortable that it does what it's supposed to do, and have made a complete separation from the Code Red procedures or whatever, however you wanna phrase it?
Yep. As soon as the breach was noticed by Code Red, they shut that system down immediately. And then they're working with the FBI right now. As far as they know, there hasn't been any information that's been pushed across. So they haven't seen anything yet, but they're still monitoring that. So it's very minimal, the impact that would actually occur if there's an incident that occurs. We have worked with IT. They have reviewed this, and it does meet their minimum requirements for security. And then also had the contract reviewed by the county attorney's office to make sure that everything is there that we need.
Okay, well, my assumption, and you should never assume, I know, but that they were working on repairing their Code Red and it would come back in, so that's not gonna happen. This is gonna replace Code Red.
Correct. So from what I understand from the state side of the person that deals with the IPAWS, is that Code Red or the Crisis 24 will never get their certificate again from
Okay.
the feds to do the IPAWS. So we have no choice but to find something different.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Commissioner Smalls?
Question, Mr. Chair, and Casey, thanks for bringing this to us this morning. My question is about Amber Alert. Is that related to Code Red and the services that Code Red provides, or is it a totally separate system?
That's a totally separate system, but it's something that we can actually use, either the OnSolve system or the iPod system, to do notifications such as that. So we can actually take a map, and then we can make perimeters around an area that we want to set off people's cell phones. So even if they're not in the system or signed up for the system, we can still activate their cell phones and make the notification, kind of like the Amber system.
That satisfies my question, Mr. Chair, and that's what I wanted to kind of get educated on, is to make sure that our Amber Red is up and running just like it's always been, even though we've had issues with Code Red. Thank you.
And again, the iPod system has always been there. It's just that we had to go through extra steps now to get through the federal government in order to set it off if we had an incident. So we have a redundancy system put in place just in case.
Okay, for, Lori,
Yep, I have a question. So, I'm just a little confused why it's so cheap. Like, I mean, everything is what you need, what you've basically had type thing, and it's all, I mean, that's a great savings.
Yeah, I think that initially when this came up in the early 2000s, there wasn't a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition now.
Okay,
And it was kind of ironic that as soon as I got notice of this incident, that all of a sudden my phone started ringing with all the competitors calling, wondering if I needed help.
sure.
So-
So this is a one-year contract, and did they say anything that if we would renew it next year, it would go up exponentially, or?
The maximum amount that it will go up is 3.5%. And then we also have the ability, if we want to do a 3-year contract,
Okay.
which we may look at if everything goes well in the first year, and that would save us $2,500 over the 3-year contract. I wasn't willing to jump into that at this point. I want to try this out, make sure it fits everything that we want.
Thank you.
okay, this just gave me an idea for another question. For those listening, and even to update me, can you just give us a couple examples where this would get used?
So if we have an incident where there's some type of weather system that's coming through, this system is actually tied right into the National Weather Service. So this is how you get the alerts. So if there's a tornado warning, tornado watch, or if we have an incident, we have a missing person, we could use it for that. So any type of emergency situation, if we have a fire in an area where maybe have chemicals that might be involved, we can actually plot off an area and then actually set off the cell phones and then emails and home phones if people sign up for it in that geographical area, so that we can kind of alert those people.
Yeah, I've seen it on some home, it's kind of nice, especially for weather. Now, who actually triggers it? Does it come through you, and does it automatically get triggered if it's a federal warning, or does it go through dispatch, or how does it actually start the warning?
All the above. So it could be by us locally through our dispatch center. It could be through the National Weather Service, they can send out alerts directly, or if there's something federally, the federal government can actually activate it too.
Board's wishes or any other questions?
Mr. Chair, I'll move request as presented.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Casey.
And I'll keep you guys apprised, and once we get everything up and running, and if there's any issues or anything.
No, in
that could
today's
be-
world, I mean, I appreciate it. Too bad we had the Code Red was such a good name, kind of, so you kind of knew what was going on, but,
Yeah, they were basically struggling when this occurred.
okay.
So, but again, it gave us an option to look at some other companies and at a really reduced rate, so competition is sometimes a good thing.
Oh, it's good, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Building maintenance, Joe. Good morning, Joe.
Morning. One item for your consideration today. Consider approving an estimate from Matt's Flooring and Tile of Hutchinson, Minnesota to repair the flooring on the third floor of the courthouse at a cost of $24,500 with funds from the county building's major repair budget 01115. I had handed out some pictures to, it kind of shows some of the damage to the flooring. We did some boring to sample the different layers. It was really, part of the unknowns was what was underneath that flooring, and we wanted to make sure we understood what that was when we looked at getting estimates for repairing the area, so.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I just want to add, Joe, because I had a question before the meeting, that this floor is not intended to be temporary. It would be to fit it, the one that you're replacing.
Correct.
It would be to fit in with the overall plan of improving the courthouse like we've been discussing for a while. So the floor that Joe has researched, and we went, myself, and another member from maintenance went and reviewed a floor at another facility, and that's to fit in with the whole plan. It would not be just for a temporary fix. Thank you.
Okay, I mean, just my comment would be that, we were up there on the tour. I mean, obviously, the floor needed some, if for nothing else, safety.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
A safety issue, so, I guess there's, it's nice to know what's underneath, but either way, we had to do something with that floor. Board's wishes?
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Go ahead, Lauren.
I've seen flooring like this before. Did you do any asbestos testing on the glue?
I have not. He didn't have any concerns based off of looking at it when he
Okay.
pulled up the sample.
Okay,
So I just kind of ran with that.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
One addition, Mr. Chair. So the flooring type that would be installed, Commissioner Chechka, would actually seal. So if there were an asbestos adhesive underneath that, this flooring would seal it. It's not, there's no seams. It goes corner to corner.
So we're going over the top of this?
Well, what would need to be removed would be removed, of
Oh.
course, during the construction
Yeah.
phase, but that will be
Okay.
blocked off. But when it is installed, it would be compliant to not have any asbestos.
So the linoleum will probably be removed.
Yeah, he'll end up using a circular saw to cut through the layers and then pull it out in pieces.
Oh, he's gonna remove all these layers that you?
Not all. It'll be down to the shiplap. So that's the most stable, the original
Sure.
shiplap flooring that
sense.
goes diagonally. The only unknown, there's some furring strips. If those are not secure, then he'll need to go in and put some Tapcon screws to secure them. As of right now, we're not feeling too much movement, so, but that is an unknown.
The only thing is, Commissioner Cheska brings up a good point. I just would hate to see an add-on that if there is asbestos in here, that it becomes a problem. That would cause an add-on. I don't know if he's prepared for that or not. I mean, I've done it myself with just the linoleums, and their glues have asbestos. I'm not particularly concerned about it, but we may be mandated to be concerned about it.
Mr. Chair, I
What?
believe that's part of the reason we did the borings is to see, and he's assuring that that should not be an issue. Of
Okay.
course, you could get through the floor halfway and find a big surprise. I think that this area of flooring, if you were to go up and see it, which you did on your tour, should be consistently the same with the layers. And there should not be exposure during the construction if it's done
Okay.
correctly. So
I'd be comfortable
yeah, I
if
mean-
these borings were tested. I don't know if they were or not.
They were not, I mean.
No,
if
they
it's-
were not.
yeah.
He did not think that it warranted testing.
All right, any board's wishes?
Well, with the pictures in front of us, it looks like it's a unavoidable project, so move to approve.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Discussion. Is this a not-to-exceed number?
The only unknown is the furring strips, so that would be additional cost if he needed to go in and drill into, there's concrete below and use tap-on screws, so, as far as the flooring goes, this is the number, but if more anchors were required, then that would be additional.
All right, I'm just, my concern is to protect ourselves. I'm okay with the anchors, that makes sense, and all that, but if something comes up for rehab, I'd like to see it come back to us. If I don't know how to put that in a motion, or add it to a motion, but if it happens to be, over a certain number, which I am at loss right now to pick, then it needs to come back to the board. Do you understand where I'm
I do.
coming from?
Yeah.
I don't question the project, it's a necessary project and all that, but I don't wanna get hung with an add-on that's substantially larger than we had anticipated. Even though it'd probably have to be done anyhow, I think we should discuss it.
Yeah, yeah, if you wanna come up with a number, or however you wanna handle
You
it.
have a number that you think that would cover the anchoring?
I can't see it being more than $5,000, which is probably a pretty sizable number, but
Would the motion maker be willing to cap it at not to exceed 30?
Yes, that'd be proper, yes.
And the seconder,
And I'll be okay with that too, Mr. Chair.
so the motion now would be for approval of this project with a number of not to exceed 30,000. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor,
Aye.
say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
thank you.
Health and Human Services, good morning, Barrett.
Good morning. I have 4 items for you today. The first, item A, is to consider approving the contract renewal for services with Painted Horse Ranch LLC out of Broughton, Minnesota, to provide court-ordered supervised visitation, travel and court appearances, court testimony for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, at a rate of $55 per hour, and with mileage billed at the IRS allowable rate only when transporting a client with funds from the Individual and Family Social Services Budget 11-430. This is a 10% increase in the, over the 2025 contracted rate. Rates did remain the same in years 2024 and 2025.
I did notice that preparing the agenda, and I mean, I took that in consideration, because otherwise, I mean, just for the sake of conversation, it's held steady, but that just shows another example. Sometimes when you hold stagnant, you have to make a bigger jump, but I did notice the 10% jump too.
Which equivalates to about $5.
Yeah,
So
no.
previous years was 50 an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
Board's wishes or questions for Barrett? Go
Mr.
ahead.
Barrett, do we get a reimbursement for what we spend, let's say, with the Painted Horse?
We do not.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Barrett? If not, board's wishes.
I'll move request, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, consider approving the contract for services with Terry Niemeyer, Nest LLC, to provide support services to children and families at a rate of $52.18 per hour, not to exceed 500 hours or the equivalent of $26,090 for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026, with funds from the Individual and Family Social Services Budget 11-430. Services that may be provided include parenting assistance, money management, meal planning and grocery shopping, learning appropriate social skills, and independent living skills. This is a contract renewal. We've been working with Terry for many years. This is a 3% increase from our current 2025 contract.
Any questions or discussion for Barrett? Board's wishes.
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, consider approving the cooperative agreement renewal with McLeod County Health and Human Services and the McLeod County Attorney's Office to provide fraud investigation services at a rate of $150 per hour for attorney work, $40 per hour for investigative work, not to exceed a maximum annual amount of $22,000. Plus $480 annually for a cell phone reimbursement for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026, with funds from the Health and Human Services Fund 11-420. This is approximately a 3.5% increase from our current 2025 contract rates.
Is, that increase, is the cell stay about the same, or that increases within that 3.5%?
Great question, thank you. The cell rate has remained the same. That 3% increase, or 3.5, excuse me, is on the hourly work for attorney work and investigative work.
Okay, thank you. Board's wishes or questions for Barrett?
Mr. Chair, I'll move request.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 4, consider approving the contract renewal with Central Minnesota Jobs and Training Services, also known as CMJTS, to provide Minnesota Family Investment Program, MFIP, and Diversionary Work Program, DWP services for McLeod County at a cost of $159,754 for the period of January 1st through December 31st, 2026. With funds from the Individual and Family Social Services Budget 11-430. Services provided may include paid employment activities, paid and unpaid work experiences, and community service site placements, job search and work readiness assistance, individualized structured job search, structured follow-up, chemical health treatment, mental health treatment and rehabilitation services, education and training-related activities, and family stabilization services. This contract request from Central Minnesota Jobs and Training Services was reduced by $2,286 from the current year due to the reduced funding McLeod County received will receive, in 2026.
All right, I'm a little confused in that. It was reduced because of the ratio, or, I mean, is that how the money is figured? So it just came out to, I mean, I'm happy, but you'd
Yeah.
very seldom see any of the
Yeah.
rates go down.
That is the dollars basically were a pass-through.
They're passed through, okay?
Yes, so the money that we get from the state, we contract with CMJTS in order to provide these services for us. So being our allocation from the state was reduced, we let them know that, they agreed to contract for less.
Okay, then do we pay more than the 159,754?
We do not.
That's built in, that's the funding that was reduced,
Correct.
so the ratio went down.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, I got appointed to this.
Yeah.
I'm on Minnesota Jobs and Training, and I'm trying to figure out the value. Do you feel, I mean, you and your staff, do you feel that you get that help from
We
them?
do. Yes, we
Okay.
really do. We've had a long-standing relationship with them. We have someone that comes to our office regularly to meet with clients. It is a requirement that we do this Minnesota Family Investment Program and this diversionary work program. By paying someone else to do it, it allows us to remain neutral and to just kind of stay out of that part of it and to be able to do our other eligibility work. So it has worked very well for us. They've been a very cooperative partner. As you can see, they reduced the rate based on what we're getting. And yes, we enjoy working with them and receive excellent service.
Well, even if you could serve the client, I mean, that you don't
Yeah.
have the resources
We
to know
don't.
where the jobs are and where
Yep.
they could do. And I've been
Yep.
concerned, since I've been on this, is to be more helpful to smaller, two families or smaller businesses, and that,
Yep.
the way you're explaining it to me, that is an avenue to the,
It is,
to
yep.
the individuals more than a 3M or
Right.
a bigger company.
Yep, they know the resources best and work really
Great.
hard to provide that individualized service.
All right, thank you. Any more questions or comments for Barrett? If not, wishes of the board.
I'll move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheska to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bert. Okay, we move into a public hearing. Pardon? Oh, we got 2 more minutes. You got a question, Stefan, or what, or? Okay. I guess we have 2 minutes. Go ahead, yeah. We'll bring on, Transportation or Andrew or Public Works. Good morning.
We have a request for aerial imagery. We fly every 4 years, and we discussed this at a compliance meeting this summer. We have those dollars. The compliance committee has recommended that we use the dollars for this purchase.
So, yep. Every 4 years, McLeod County does an aerial flight. We do about a 4-inch accuracy flight. We went out to and got quotes from 4 different companies, and 95 West Aerial Mapping out of Grand Forks, North Dakota was the low bid at $50,298. We do have letters of commitment from the cities of Brownton, Glencoe, Hutchinson, Plato, Silver Lake, and Winsted to help participate in this project. They've committed about $25,000 towards the project.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. Number one, in this line, and I know, Christie, you've been around this a while. Is this a good outfit? Cheap is not always the best.
That's a great question, and yes, they are. We used them 4 years ago. They're exceptional.
All right. And can you just review what this gives us, what information this gives us, and then it goes into, obviously it goes into a file, so we use this till we do it again or till some updated information comes around. Is that correct?
That's correct. In 2007, we took a look at the aerial imagery that exists out there. It's available through Farm Service Agency, and they typically run about 1 meter. Law enforcement was one of the drivers of requesting a better accuracy, high-resolution imagery, as well as construction and zoning. And so all counties, if you will, pursue a higher level of precision in their imagery, and so that's why we do this 4-inch collect, which you can't read license plates, but it's really good.
Okay.
Every 4 years, there's enough change to justify. There's been some interest or discussion from some communities as they partner with us to maybe fly more often. But right now, we're comfortable at 4 years, and that's where we're at today.
And does that give us elevation? I've seen some through you know, LiDAR, I mean, I guess that's my real question. What information does that give you? I mean, I can see the, I've seen some of the presentations, so I see the worthiness of it, but tell me what it gives you and how it brings us efficiencies.
So in zoning, you see the growth of communities. In emergency response, you see the number of buildings, and if you're going into a fire situation, you know, all the structures that are out there. In an assessment situation, you see the new structures that have gone up. You see the change of what's happening in McLeod County.
In real time and in real
Every 4 years,
perspective.
yes. Yeah.
Now, does this information then just stay with us, or is this something these cities, and other, you know, the emergency responders can get this information?
That's the nice thing about the partnering and the community supporting this project is we're all working towards the same project, spending the dollars together rather than everybody doing their own thing. And then the state of Minnesota also uses that information as well through the DNR and other divisions
Okay.
as well.
All right. So it does the whole county, it does, okay, very good.
Mr. Chair?
Yep, go ahead. Commissioner.
And Christie, like the small cities that aren't listed, do they have the opportunity to still be recruited to share some of the costs? And them not being listed or participating, does it lock them out of any of the services that this information will give us?
For 2026, all cities in McLeod County have chosen to participate with the exception of Biskie. Biskie's cost would have been about $100, so I didn't even reach out to Biskie just for that purpose, but if Biskie wanted a copy, absolutely. And they could do it through procurement.
Thank you.
Good question, and I mean, I think if we're doing it, irregardless, though, we need to do the whole county, though, that makes total sense to me.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I think we're all familiar with how popular our mapping and our GIS department is, and of course, we have to remember our GIS department being recognized throughout the entire state with their superior services. The recorder compliance budget is the right place to pull the funding. And again, these mapping tools that are created in that department are used so widespread and on a constant basis, it seems like. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep. And then, I'm guessing it's 9:30.
Yeah, we can, if you don't mind, we'll
Yep.
go to the public hearing. I'll take a motion to open the public hearing.
So move.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, good morning,
Go ahead.
Commissioners. Today, we're going to ask you to consider approving the 2026 McLeod County fee schedule. The public hearing to discuss the 2026 fee schedule was advertised in the Chronicle, McLeod County Chronicle, on December 5th and December 12th, 2025. The board reviewed the changes requested by departments at workshops in November and December, and once approved, the 2026 McLeod County fee schedule will go into effect on January 1st, 2026.
Thank you, Stefan, and I just want to make clear, this is, I don't know if Ryan, if you want to comment, we have to do this open hearing. I mean, we just don't go changing fees. Do you have something short just to say why, you know, what we're doing and why we have to?
Well, I mean, the purpose of the hearing is more or less already been articulated, and it's
Right.
to consider the proposed changes and ultimately approve them if the board so chooses. And, I mean, it's for obvious reason. I mean, this fee schedule, when one looks at it, it's quite long. It covers the various departments in the county and the different services we provide and the proposed fees that are associated with those services. So, it is an opportunity for the public to address the board regarding that. But, you know, this is something that, Mr. Chair, you well know, is done on an annual basis every year. And we're at that point again this year. So, pretty straightforward, but it is a necessary part of the process so that when these fees, you know, if there's any amendments or changes or additions made, that the public had the opportunity for input before that occurs. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan, and that was my point, is to know, I mean, we as commissioners represent our constituents. I heard nothing this year on any, and that's another reason I brought it up. I haven't heard any questions on our fees. I had some generic questions on why we have fees on certain things, but other than that, I have not had a comment, so I wanted to make it clear that the public, that's the reason for all this, has the opportunity to speak. So I digress now, so go ahead.
Well, I have nothing else to add, Mr. Chair, other than if there's any members of the public, if you'd like to invite anyone to speak.
Is anybody here from the public wishing to speak to the fee schedules?
And
I-
Mr. Chair, if I may, and Stefan, could you, I mean, this has been on at least a couple of workshops.
Yes.
For those that maybe haven't been aware, you know, we've had this at workshops leading up to this hearing where some of the specific proposals have been discussed. And what's before the board in the packet today is a product of those various meetings.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. We have discussed this quite thoroughly. I mean, we went through them. This is the final frosting on the cake, you might say, but to actually set them, but we were trying to, the only ones we really changed is where we actually needed funds to, you know, to support that entity or that service. So I guess that's all I have. I don't know if any other board members have any comments or the wishes. How do we want to do this? We want to go, we're going to do this as a blanket?
Yes, I just requested the board would approve the 2026 fee schedule. Again, we've reviewed any changes or additions. Then you would just approve that 2026 fee schedule that's proposed, and then following that, close the public hearing.
Okay, I've looked through the fee schedule, and I've had I personally didn't see anything online. That's all I can say. We've discussed it a number of times, and I don't know if the rest of the board wants to acknowledge doing that and go on from there. Silence is golden, so
Yeah, I haven't had anyone
I haven't either, so.
either, so.
Is there someone willing to make a motion to accept the fee sales?
Mr. Chair, and I wanted to add, as far as the public goes, that the postings have been made publicly, so I think we've satisfied all the criteria involved with passing the fee schedule as presented, and I will move that we pass the fee schedule as presented.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to accept the fee schedule as printed. Is there a second?
And Mr. Chair, could I interject?
Sure.
I think as far as this public hearing serves, you know, we've called for the public input several times. I think the proper procedure now would be if there is no other additional public input, for a motion and second to close the meeting, and then once the public hearing, and then once the public hearing's closed, any discussion and vote. So, I think that'd be the.
Thank you for Nathan, did you make a motion?
I did.
You withdraw your motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll withdraw the motion at this time.
Thank you. And now if there is no other public comment, any other public comment, I would look for a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Everyone in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. And now wishes of the board on how we handle the fee schedule.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I will move that we adopt the fee schedule as presented this morning.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Smalls to accept the fee schedule as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Discussion. Now, the fee schedule was in the packet, and it's all been presented. So, with that, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the 2026 fee schedule, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, and just a reminder, that'll take effect January 1st, 2026. Thank
Okay.
you.
Good morning again.
Morning.
Item B, consider approving final acceptance and payment of $283,942.65 to Kroll Inc. of New Hampton, Iowa for the State Aid Project 043-601-013, the County State Aid Highway 1 Concrete Overlay Project. This project is completed satisfactorily, and final acceptance and payment is recommended by staff.
Wishes of the board?
I'll move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Cheska to approve the payment. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Is there any discussion or
Mr.
questions?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Just a comment about the project, Andrew. Appreciate the cooperation with you and City of Lester Prairie, City of Winston, and Kroll. I think we have an excellent product in place, and hopefully something that will last us many years. And it's a very nice upgrade to the county and the two districts that the two townships that I represent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Commissioner Schmalz, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, consider approving a joint powers agreement with the City of Hutchinson for the 2026 joint bituminous pavement sealant project. Both the City of Hutchinson and McLeod County plan preventative bituminous pavement maintenance on streets in the City of Hutchinson in 2026. In order to best coordinate activities, minimize disruption to the traveling public, and to capitalize on economies of scale, staff determined these projects should be done jointly. This agreement defines various rights, obligations, and cost sharing for the project similar to agreements done in the past. The City of Hutchinson will be the lead on this project. McLeod County will be treating the Fairgrounds Inner Ring Road, which was final pavement wear course was put on in 2024, the north entrance at Century Avenue, and the southeast entrance off of Market Street, which were paved in 2025. The treatment is an asphalt sealant and rejuvenator that will prolong the life of the pavement, similar to a seal coat, but is much more pedestrian friendly.
Wishes of the board or
Mr.
questions?
Chair.
Go ahead.
And Andrew, explain the pedestrian-friendly piece. Does that mean that they don't use an aggregate when they do the seal process?
Yep, they don't really use an aggregate. It's more of a kind of a soak-in sealer with some rejuvenator compounds that reactivate the oils in the asphalt pavement and keep them malleable and keep them from oxidizing. They will spread light layer sand on directly after the application, and that just allows traffic to get on there quickly.
Thank you, Andrew. Mr. Chair, I'll move approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just want to add, this is a prime example of working together with others in the county to keep our costs low for everybody. Thank you, Andrew.
I would echo that as well. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Item D, consider approving a write-off of one outstanding receivable for 2025. We have one outstanding receivable amount that will not be collected because the case was dismissed in 2025. The county attorney's office has reviewed and recommended not pursuing civil collections for this. The information is in the board packet as far as what this write-off is, the dollar amount and everything.
Question, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Andrew, when we try to pursue recovery on some of these costs, is the pursuit both with the individual and maybe the individual's insurance company? I'd just like to hear an explanation of that.
Yep. This is an interesting case, but yes, we do pursue individually and through insurance. In this case, the driver was an uninsured driver, so we were not able to recoup from the insurance company.
Any other discussion or questions for,
Mr. Chair?
go ahead.
I remember we had a couple of these a year ago, and again, if it's deemed unrecoverable, I will move request as presented this morning.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve. Is there a second?
I can second.
seconded by Commissioner Chatska. I am confident that everything was done properly. We've talked about this a couple different times. So I think everything was done properly, and it's the right avenue to go down, so. With that, if there's no more discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item E, consider approving a maintenance agreement with the City of Brownton for snow plowing County State Aid Highway 32 and County State Aid Highway 25 in the City of Brownton with funds from the Highway Equipment Maintenance Budget. Sections of CSA 25 and 32 have limited snow storage capacity due to the sidewalks being directly adjacent to the road, which requires a unique snow plowing practice and moving snow to stockpile locations. To most efficiently cover our county system, we've been since 2021 playing around and trying to find an efficient operation within the City of Brownton, and we finally found one where McLeod County, we plow the driving lanes, and then the City of Brownton plows the shoulders, and then they come back at a later date and they move that snow to a stockpile location or haul it out. Under this agreement, we would just be paying for the plowing of the shoulders, which is consistent with how we have agreements in other communities within the county. So we would only be paying them for plowing the shoulders, not for moving and stockpiling the snow.
Thank you. I'm familiar with some of these agreements, and as Commissioner Wright had said, if we can work together to not only for efficiency, but for timely service to those roads, I mean, it's a definite asset if you can, get a pattern. I know it's working in a couple other cities, so with that, I'll move to approve. It's just a second. Lori abstained herself from this vote because she's clerk in Brownton. And it's her decision, and that's fine, but I just wanted to note that's why she went and sat down. With that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Employee relations. Morning, Hannah.
Good morning. I have a few items this morning. Oh, and excuse me. Just a minute. Okay. Item A is consider approving the memorandum of agreement for employer-sponsored health insurance contribution and health savings account contribution with the McLeod County General Unit of the Minnesota Public Employee Association, or MNPA, Union for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
So move, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve the MOA. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B is consider approving the memorandum of agreement for employer-sponsored health insurance contribution and health savings account contribution with the McLeod County Correctional Officer Unit of Minnesota Public Employee Association Union for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
So move.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item C is consider approving the memorandum of agreement for employer-sponsored health insurance contribution and health savings account contribution with the McLeod County Deputy Unit of MNP Union for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
Wishes of the board. I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item D is considering approving the MOA for employer-sponsored health insurance contribution and health savings account contribution with the McLeod County Public Works Unit of the Minpia Union for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
Wishes of the board.
I'll move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Chaska to approve the MOA. Is there a second?
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item E is consider approving the MOA for employer-sponsored health insurance contributions for the health and health saving account contributions with the McLeod County Communications Officer Unit of the Minpia Union for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
So move.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve the MOA. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. We're going to switch it up a little bit here. Item F is consider approving a request reviewed by the Personnel Committee to hire one temporary elections personnel position working a full-time schedule in 2026. This request is based on the needs of the Auditor Treasurer's Department due to a combination of medical leaves and the required special election in 2026.
The reasons have been covered, so wishes of the board. I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Discussion. We're just, my comment on it, I mean, we're moving into a tight schedule, and our auditor and her office are working hard to get this done, and this is a reasonable request. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item G is consider approving a request reviewed by the Personnel Committee to extend two part-time temporary child protection positions through December 31st, 2026. The temporary positions are currently approved through December 31st, 2025.
Okay, just to be clear-handed, these positions are already there. We are just extending the temporary positions. And the process has worked, so I'm in favor of that. With that, I'll make a motion to approve.
And I can second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. We're now going to do the added item H that was added at the beginning of the board meeting. Item H is requesting the addition of item H, which was included. Consider approving the collective bargaining agreement with the McLeod County Minnesota Nurses Association, MNA Union, for the period of January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2027.
It was through, give me the through date again, I'm sorry.
Yep, January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2027. So this is a 2-year contract with the MNA Union.
Questions or wishes of the board? It was my first time to sit in. After Commissioner Nagel's resignation, I sat in. It was my first time, so it's just basically a learning time for me. But I thought the discussion went well. A lot of these things were covered ahead of time, so I have no problem with it. I'll move to approve.
And I'll second it, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by Commissioner Smalls. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Yep, I would like to also state that I serve on the committee, and thanks to administration for gathering the information and dealing with the negotiations. So I can support the motion as presented.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I just want to note too, this is a great move. It's our first contract of the season that's been settled or as a tentative agreement, and so we're grateful for that and looking forward to seeing more moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, my comment for this procedure, A through H, it went fast today, but there was a lot of work, and a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and there's always room for improvement on both sides, but however, what I've seen up to now, I mean, it doesn't start or it ends today because we approved the contracts, but any, lack of a better word, tweaks or things to do have to be done way before today.
Yeah, I'm thankful to the administrator and the whole committee. We started it in January of this year, and it's been a really positive experience. Appreciate the attorney stepping in as well, and it's been a lot of work, and I think it's really paid off. So we're also grateful to our stewards and business agents in the process too. Thank you.
Thank you. Auditor Treasurer Connie. Good morning.
Good morning. I have 2 items today for you. The first item is to consider approving the Houston Engineering, Inc. Client Services Agreement estimated at $15,800 for the County Ditch 40 Historic Review and Culvert Sizing, with funds coming from County Ditch 40 budget. McLeod County received a drainage repair request from Barry Barton of Barton Farms to replace a bridge on County Ditch 40 in Rich Valley Township, Section 6, Range 28. Houston Engineering has submitted a client services agreement with an estimate of $15,800 for completion of a CD 40 historic review and culvert sizing. The full scope of services was included in the board packet, and in summary, HEI will complete a survey of 1 mile of the public drainage system open channel, which is approximately 2,000 feet downstream and 2,000 feet upstream of the existing bridge crossing. HEI will then prepare a technical memorandum identifying the as-constructed and subsequently improved condition ASIC grade of the system and will prepare plan sheets documenting the grade. HEI will not exceed the scope and budget for completion of this work without prior authorization from McLeod County.
All right, we've discussed this one a couple of times as well, and I think I've been through it, but anyway, the wishes of the board or questions to Connie?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I think that's part of my district, and I have not heard anything from anybody on that. So sometimes no news is good news, I guess, I'm hoping,
Sure.
so.
Ryan, do you have any comments at all on this? I think you looked at it earlier.
I mean, my office reviewed the contract. There were maybe some slight tweaks based on that input, but I have nothing else as far as the contract that's currently presented to the board.
And again, you can see that the money is coming from the funds from the County Ditch 40. I have not heard from any people on that watershed to not, not to approve this, so. Wishes of the board?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I will move request.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve request. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Chaska. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I wanted to make the comment that this is the same procedure that we do follow when it comes to culvert sizing and also ditch elevations. So I think consistency is our friend, and with that, I can support the motion as presented.
Thank you, Commissioner Schmalz. Yes, I don't want to get too far out in the weeds, but we have a number of crossings in the county that will probably be addressed on a one-to-one basis, so I'm glad to see. I know a little bit about this bridge, so I'm glad to see getting it completed, so. Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B is to consider adopting Resolution 25CB27 for the special election to fill the vacant office of County Commissioner District 5. I received a resignation from Joe Nagel from the County Commissioner District 5 seat effective December 2nd, 2025, per Minnesota Statute 375.101, Subdivision 1 and Subdivision 4. If 1 year or more remains in the unexpired term, a special election must be held and called by resolution of the county board. Minnesota Statute 205.10, Subdivision 3A, does contain uniform election dates, and the next possible election date provided with the time frame of his resignation is Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. This request is for the county board to consider holding the special election to fill the vacant office of County Commissioner District 5 on April 14th, 2026. And eligible voters represented by this district include Acoma Township, Hutchinson Township, and City of Hutchinson Precinct 2. I will go ahead and read the resolution. So Resolution 25 CB 27, the notice of special general election on April 14th, 2026, or alternatively, the notice of the special primary election on April 14th and special general election on August 11th, 2026. Whereas McLeod County has established 5 individual commissioner districts, and whereas Joe Nagel has filed for a re-election and was duly elected to the office of McLeod County Commissioner District 5 at the November 8th, 2022 general election for a 4-year term expiring January 4th, 2027. And whereas Joe Nagel has resigned from his Commissioner District 5 seat effective December 2nd, 2025. And whereas Minnesota Statutes 375.101 Subdivision 1 and Subdivision 4, requires that if 1 year or more remains in the unexpired term, a special election must be held to fill the vacancy in office of a county commissioner. And whereas under Minnesota Statutes 205.10 Subdivision 3A, a special election must be held on the second Tuesday of February, April, May, or August, or on the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November. Therefore, be it resolved, the McLeod County Board hereby calls for a special election to fill the vacancy in the office of McLeod County Commissioner District 5. Be it further resolved that in the event 2 or fewer candidates file for the open seat, a special general election shall be held in District 5 on April 14th, 2026. And be it further resolved alternatively that in the event 3 or more candidates file for the open seat, a special primary election shall be held in District 5 on April 14th, 2026, and a special general election shall be held in District 5 on August 11th, 26. And be it finally resolved that any proper notices of these special elections shall be given, that the nomination and election of candidates be conducted, and all things pertaining thereto be done as provided by relevant Minnesota laws and statutes.
Thank you, Connie. Is there any questions or comments from the board?
I just have one.
Go
So
ahead.
when does the filing period then start for that district or for that seat?
Filing period for the April 14th, 2026 special election is January 20th through February 3rd,
Okay,
with a withdrawal period expiring at 5 o'clock on February 5th.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, and some of these dates and procedures are ready to go, except this is the first process to have a resolution to proceed with the special election. So they will come out after we do this procedure. So is there any other wishes of the board or questions for Connie?
Mr. Chair, I believe it's all laid out by state statute. I thank the auditor's office for putting this together today. I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to adopt Resolution 25 CB 27 for the special election of County Commissioner District 5. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. And just to be, we've talked earlier, now the procedure and the dates specific will be put on our website.
Correct.
Very good.
Thank you.
Information and technology, Matt?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Consider approving the purchase of a new Lenovo server from Insight Public Sector of Chandler, Arizona at a state contract price of $19,771.06 with funds from the information technology budget. This new server will replace our current primary backup server that was purchased in 2017. We have reached the capacity and performance capability of the current server and is no longer able to complete backups in acceptable time limits. This server was originally planned to be replaced in 2027. Options to upgrade the server were considered, but deemed expensive considering they would not extend the life of the server beyond 2027 due to end of support announced by the manufacturer.
Thank you, Matt. We've discussed this in a workshop, and some more information is in the packet.
Correct.
So I mean, I don't know exactly where to go from here, other than if the board has any questions.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I'll ask Matt a question if I may. Matt, how many servers do we utilize in McLeod County?
That's a difficult question to answer. We have a number of physical servers and a number of what I'm going to refer to as virtual servers. So we run virtual servers, allow us to make more use of the physical hardware. I believe we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 total physical servers and somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 virtual servers.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot, Matt, but thanks for that explanation. What I was kind of getting at was we have more than one server.
Correct.
And this is just a step to, have an orderly process to replace those servers as they become obsolete. Am I correct on that assumption?
Correct.
Mr. Chair, with that, I'll move request.
Motion made by Commissioner Smalls to approve request. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any more discussion? The only thing I'm gonna say is we have a good person in charge. He made a good report with our workshop. I'm not even gonna claim to understand virtual servers and real servers and whatever servers, but I do, I know that IT is busy and has a lot of responsibility, and I will support Matt's request. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the request, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Attorney's office, Ryan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 12A serves as a notice of litigation that McLeod County and several employees in the McLeod County Sheriff's Office has been sued in federal court, along with several other government entities and their employees for events that were alleged to have occurred in December 2022. Minnesota County's Intergovernmental Trust, MCIT, has been notified, and they've assigned counsel to provide representation to the county as well as its employees. So this litigation process will continue in the normal course. So we're very early on. I will certainly provide updates as the process moves forward, and can also have the MCI attorney that's assigned address the board at some future point once there's some more information. But so this is just notice that the suit's been filed, and we're working on it.
So this is information only, is that correct?
Pardon?
This is information only?
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep, just notification today.
Thank you. County Administration, Commissioners' calendars. Getting a pretty high pile here, so I have to dig a little. Since our last meeting, which was truth and taxation, and that we did have a workshop with that. And on a Monday, on the 3rd, the day after truth and taxation, I'll back up again a little bit. I was a little disappointed. We had a truth and taxation. As commissioners, we're always nervous to see what people are gonna come to the meeting. We had really no one. at the meeting, and does it make my life a little easier? Probably. But we had some here for valuations, and they went straight to Sue, but we had a great presentation, and, well, it's on video. And I just feel that there was a missed opportunity to understand some of the fiscal things that we do and why we do them. And not that they're all right, but that's the procedure, and that's how we do them. And the more people would educate themselves or be aware of some of the things we do and why would help everyone, I believe. The day after was the 3rd. I had Mid-Minnesota Development Commission, a board meeting, which is economic development for our region. And again, it's paid for by the development itself, or the commission itself. And we went through a number of things there, setting our budgets for next year and setting wages. And then on the 8th, I attended the Soil and Water Board meeting here in Glencoe. I like to stay abreast of what their projects are and what they have coming up, and how much money is available for some of their projects. And I believe there is an adequate board there that go through a lot of different areas that landowners could utilize if they would qualify. On the 10th, we had a budget committee meeting by Zoom. On the 11th, the agenda review. On the 12th, I had ATP 8, which is transportation that I am on that committee through Mid-Minnesota Development. And we went through a number of changes in some projects coming up and some new ones and some tweaks. And the only thing not the only thing, but one of the main things that probably be of interest to people here in Glencoe or McLeod County is the walkover bridge for 212 was scheduled to become handicap accessible. My word that next year, and that project was extended out another year. So that won't start this year. And yesterday, I had Central Minnesota Jobs and Training Board meeting. Again, we discussed some things there a little earlier, and my questions to Barrett were answered. And again, I'm just hitting the ground on that organization, and I'll continue to watch it and let people know what's going on there. Yesterday was my first time to also attend negotiations. Believe it or not, I just did mostly listening. I didn't do any talking, so. But it was interesting, and a lot of the hard work was done already, so it was interesting. Which brings us up to today. Thank you.
My meetings, our last board workshop, and Commissioner Kruger made some nice comments about our TNT meeting, that a lot of work goes into that, and it was, again, like he said, nobody came, but that's fine. Hopefully they're watching it online, and they're getting their questions answered as to how we come up with the numbers and the mandates that we have to operate under. After that, feedlot meeting, our topic continues of out-of-county manure, trying to determine how that reflects in our current ordinance and trying to outguess what Minnesota Pollution Control Agency might be making some changes to. We'll be continuing to revisit that. I think our next meeting is scheduled for January. There is a chance, hopefully by sometime in the spring, that we may see some amendments coming forward, kind of yet to be determined. Commissioner Kruger did mention that we met as a budget meeting, and that is to basically cover several of the next items in our agenda. On Thursday, Fairgrounds Commission met. We had plenty of discussion on continued maintenance on buildings and how that reflects what's in our budget. The contract that we approved at our last board meeting for looking at some of the sound options for Century Hall was discussed, and as far as in 2026, what do we have for some small projects that would make some big differences in increasing the use of our buildings? So that pretty well wraps up the meetings for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. I'll start off with Tuesday, December 2nd. We had our county board meeting here in the afternoon due to our TNT in the evening. We also followed our county board meeting with or we preceded the county board meeting with a workshop on that same day. On Wednesday the 3rd, I had a community health advisory team meeting here in Glencoe at the Government Center. On Thursday the 4th, we had a union negotiations committee Zoom meeting at 9 in the morning. And then it was also the day that I normally attend a Prime West Joint Powers Board meeting. I was able to do that meeting by Zoom in December, which I appreciate, not being on the road and making the drive to Alexandria. And then on Sunday, the 7th, the AMC Annual Winter Conference started. I started that conference off with a Rural Ag Forum that lasted an hour that evening. And then also we had an MRC meeting at 6 p.m. that same evening. Minnesota Rural Counties is what MRC stands for. The conference itself was attended by, I'll say, I don't know exactly how many people attend, but it could have been 700, 800 people. I will give a credit to our Health and Human Services Director, or excuse me, I misstated that. Our Human Resources Director is a better way to say it, Hannah, who opened the General Assembly by singing the national anthem, and Hannah did a wonderful job, a wonderful rendition, and the crowd was very enthusiastic with the presentation that Hannah gave singing the national anthem. The conference itself had general assemblies, which included 4 speakers throughout the conference. We also had the opportunity to attend workshops. There were 7 sessions, 1 hour each throughout the conference. I did attend a workshop, in all 7 categories. So sometimes you have to stay really focused to attend those. And then it brings us to this week, Mr. Chair. We had a Union Negotiations Committee meeting, which I attended by Zoom yesterday afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So after the workshop the last time, the next day on the 3rd, AMC had 2 pre-conference gatherings for the General Policy Committee because they had 13 different amendments that they were looking at. So what they wanted to do was try to get ahead of the game, instead of, hashing these over in that Sunday night Board of Directors meeting, or Monday morning. The 2 hours there were spent on just going over them and fine tuning. So that was very beneficial to hear what they had to say on all of those. Prime West was on Thursday the 4th. I also Zoomed that. They had some legislators there beforehand, and then a shorter meeting, but because they were there. On the Sunday the 7th, I also attended the Minnesota Rural Counties board meeting on Sunday night, and that kind of got the whole conference kicked off that I also went to. I said, the best national anthem I've heard, so thank you, Hannah, for that. It was great to interact with the county staff that was there with Nathan and I, and then just to meet people from different counties, and Nathan was very good about introducing me to some of the ones that he knew. Some of the different ones that I had went to, again, was the general government policy. We passed 13 amendments for final vote for Wednesday in 2 hours. They were very happy with that. I was happy with that. But, they've got pretty set timelines as far as those meetings go. So the one I just wanted to highlight was, it was Beyond the Bus. There was a gal there from MnDOT or OTAT, and so being on the Trailblazer committee, I thought that was a great opportunity to hear what she had to say about the transit systems within the state. And Commissioner Cock from Sibley County and I were able to talk with Kathy Schultz after the presentation with some questions that we had just for Trailblazer. But so that was the end of my meetings up till today.
Thank you. Attorney's Office?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just note, as was probably evident, I did not attend the last board meeting on December 2nd. I had Assistant County Attorney Ott here in my stead, and that's because I was attending the annual conference for the Minnesota County Attorneys Association. So that first meeting in December is really one of the few meetings I routinely miss here. But it's an important annual meeting. The County Attorneys Association is an independent voluntary organization that the 87 counties or county attorneys choose to participate in, and really work to not only share resources whenever appropriate and information, but then work on trying to get a consensus among county attorneys on various legal and public policy issues that are of significance to us and by extension the county. So it was a productive meeting. I was elected to be on the board of directors for the organization this upcoming year, so honored and excited to take part in that. And I appreciate Mr. Ott covering for me last meeting. So that's it. Thank you.
Congratulations for getting onto the board. I do have a question, if you don't mind. When you're having, I've seen some coverage on the news, which can be slanted. I don't know what they do or not, but do you have a hard time getting consensus? I mean, is there a difference? I mean, I don't mean to, it's some of the problems that I face in trying to get a consensus because we're so different, and that's why I asked them that question.
I mean, those challenges are shared with us, and it's not always just on philosophical lines, but I mean, there's times there's an obvious, metro versus outstate, not divide, but that's where those differences are oftentimes so obvious. So it can be difficult when it comes to just various like legislative or, public policy priorities, but there's always enough to find common ground. We find common ground on the 5 or so that we do have kind of a shared interest in, and some of those others we just aren't able to take a position on as an organization because the 87 electeds have their own constituents to speak to. So that's probably not unlike what you might find at AMC. But then it's still an incredibly valuable organization. I mean, some of those bigger offices in those metro counties, on the other hand, I mean, they have folks that specialize in these, hyper technical or smaller areas of law, and that can be a great resource to the smaller offices. They've been there, they've done it, they have materials to share, or kind of cautionary instructions of what worked or didn't work. So even when we can't always come to a consensus on certain policy issues, it's still an incredibly valuable organization. So we do have some legislative priorities identified for the next year. I can share those, that they're public. I can send those to you, but yeah, so there are challenges, but we've had success in coming to a consensus whenever possible.
No, and I can see especially in your line of work, or probably ours as well, that the resources are so very valuable. I've been advocating for a number of years to try and get a majority report for and then let the legislature sort it out on their own. That's just been one of my ideas, but change is like pouring molasses when it's 20 below, but
Right.
But at any rate, no, I appreciate that, and again, congratulations on your board appointment. All right, administration.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item A, consider adopting resolution 25-CB-28, setting the 2026 McLeod County Commissioner salary, per diem, and mileage reimbursement rates. The 2025 McLeod County Board Commissioner annual salary is $41,200. The Budget Committee recommends to the County Board an annual salary of $42,642, effective January 1, 2026, per the resolution in the board packet. Also setting the half-day per diem rate to $75, the full-day per diem rate to $125, and the mileage reimbursement rate to remain at the federal rate. That would be no changes to the per diem rates nor the federal, or excuse me, nor the mileage reimbursement rate, the only change being the salary.
And excuse me, I'm sorry for asking, can you read the salary change again?
I can. Currently, it's $41,200. The Budget Committee recommendation being $42,642.
All right. We're gonna have to act on these individually, so with that, is there wishes of the board on a motion to approve? I will make the motion to approve our salary at $42,642 with the per diems and mileage reimbursement staying the same. Is there a second?
Second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, in past years, I have stated that, I was against, raising the commissioner's salary. But now with the realization of the work that goes into establishing these rates, the work by the Budget Committee, reviewing these rates, and also the comparisons that are made with these rates, I'll be supportive of the motion. I believe that a planned and reasonable growth is good for McLeod County, and I think this puts this in place as presented. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Smalls. Any other discussion? Through, not just through the Budget Committee, but through personnel and others, we did some comparisons. I mean, it's all over the board on the 87 counties. Some commissioners are called full-time commissioners, and they have wages, and we go through it, and you try to come up with something. Back in the day, it was a civil service job. However, I mean, we have a lot of responsibility as a board, and we're managing a lot of high qualified, high personnel type people, and I just think that it's a fair raise, and I will support it as well. Any other comments or comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item B, consider adopting Resolution 25-CB-29, setting the 2026 McLeod County Committee member per diem and mileage reimbursement rates. No changes recommended to the 2025 rates for the per diem or mileage reimbursement, so it would be a recommendation from the Budget Committee of $75 for a half day of per diem, $125 for a full day of per diem, and to remain at the federal rate of reimbursement for mileage.
Thank you. Now this, just so we have a clear understanding for those watching, this is all our committees. Whether it be feedlot, I can't, I'm have a blank here on all our other committees, but they're appointed committees by us, and this is their per diem for their work and their attendance of the meeting. And I guess that's all I have to say with it. We left it the same, and we'll go from there. Wishes of the board.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to approve the rates staying the same as $75 for half a day, $125 for a full day, and the federal mileage reimbursement.
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item C, consider setting the 2026 salary for the elected McLeod County Auditor Treasurer. The 2025 McLeod County Auditor Treasurer annual salary is $118,823.89. The Budget Committee recommends to the County Board an annual salary of $122,983, effective January 1, 2026.
Wishes of the board?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor of the auditor treasurer wages at $122,983, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Go ahead.
Thank you. Item D, consider setting the 2026 salary for the elected McLeod County Sheriff. The 2025 McLeod County Sheriff annual salary is $150,000. The Budget Committee recommends to the County Board an annual salary of $155,250, effective January 1, 2026.
Wishes of the board? Motion made by Commissioner Chatska. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Wright. Motion has been made and second to raise, or to set the sheriff's salary at $155,250 pursuant to Minnesota statute 387-20. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item E, consider setting the 2026 salary for the elected McLeod County Attorney. The 2025 McLeod County Attorney annual salary is $195,000. The Budget Committee recommends to the County Board an annual salary of $201,825, effective January 1, 2026.
Wishes of the board?
Move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Chatska. So motion has been made and seconded to set the county attorney's salary at $201,825 pursuant to statute 388.18. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item F, consider adopting resolution 25-CB-30, additional commissioner committee appointments. The resolution is in your board packet, and it includes adding Commissioner Doug Kruger to the Labor Negotiations Committee and Commissioner Nathan Schmalz to the Personnel Committee. This is just through December 31st, 2025, because it's anticipated that there may be action necessary from those commissioners in the absence of, due to the resignation of Commissioner Nagel.
Question, did we take action on the resolution when, is that the same resolution?
This is a separate resolution.
Separate?
It is just in case, because some of the committee appointments, we have them arranged so that there are all five commissioners can act on them because of this type of situation occurring. These two, we don't. And so we're doing it just to assure that we have coverage on those committees because action could be occurring between now and the end of the year where a recommendation would be made. The recommendations wouldn't be made until January. However, then you'll choose in January who is on those committees.
So we'll solidify it, or whatever the right word is, in January.
You'll solidify the appointments for 2026.
Okay,
This
very
is
good.
just through year end. Thank you.
Is everybody understanding? Okay, it took me a little bit, but I got it. Is there a motion to, or I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 25 CB 30. That's for our additional commissioner committee appointments due to the resignation and some other things here that will be in place until the start of 2026.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any more questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item G, consider approving the information security policy as listed in your board packet. It is anticipated there will be changes on this throughout time. Obviously, technology changes quickly, and we're accepting of feedback. However, we would like to have it in place and adopted by year end.
And I get it, but you can help me a little. What is it, when we're approving this security policy, what does it really mean? I mean,
You're
I seen
approving
it,
the-
And I understand it and I approve of it, but what are we exactly, what does it mean?
It means that McLeod County has an information security policy in place as listed in the board packet. It is the one that we went over at the county board workshop last week with some changes and adjustments, which you can see in there. It means that we follow the policy.
And we follow that with our employees and with the general public, and it covers all our security.
It covers all of our network users.
Okay,
Mhm.
very good.
That could be a contractor, it could be a temporary
Okay.
employee, it's anyone who comes onto our network to conduct county business.
Okay,
It's not for guest users. We have a guest network as well.
wishes of the board?
I'll move to approve the information security policy.
Motion made by Commissioner Chachka to improve the security policy. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Schmalz. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. Item H is supplemental, of course, with information security and information technology. But consider approving the acceptable use policy for information security resources. And what that means, Mr. Chair, is that it would replace our previous acceptable use policy, and we could begin to implement it with our network users as well.
Wishes of the board?
Mr. Chair, I will move acceptable use policy as presented.
Motion made by Commissioner Schmalz to approve the acceptable use policy. Is there a second? I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. I think that's the best birthday gift that our Information Technology Director, Matt Troska, could have gotten, so. It is his birthday. Happy birthday, Matt.
Yeah, happy birthday. Oh, he's not in here.
He's taking video for our
Okay,
meeting, so you
okay.
can't see him. Cleaner, you going with item I?
I
Okay.
have item I, consider approving the agreement with Government Management Group to prepare McLeod County Essential Service Cost Allocation Plans for the years 2025, 26, 27, 28, and 29, in conformance with federal regulation Title II CRF Part 200, at a total cost of $28,750, with funds from the countywide budget 01003. The fee for this service will be a fixed fee of $57.50 per year. This is an increase of $400 per year over the previous rate that was approved in 2020 through 2025, or 2024, excuse me.
Wishes of the board?
I'll make the motion to approve, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright to approve. Is there a second? I'll second it. And the the money will come out of 01-003, is that, I mean, it's
Yes, that's
written in
correct.
here. Okay, any more discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
I'll ask the question. What does this do for us? What's the money, what's the purpose of using the money?
Well, we are required to have this audit, and what it does, it gives us reimbursement for administrative fees that go back into this account 01003 from state and federal government.
Thank you.
Commissioner Smalls, just, I'm a little ill-prepared for this, but it's okay. We're running into this with our audits across the boards. I mean, the requirements of these audits are, I don't know if they've changed so much, but the requirements of the auditors have changed and their fees have gone through the roof. I deal with it almost with every committee or place I sit on, Trailblazer, the whole works. I mean, these audits and they mandate certain levels of an auditor that can do that auditing. You can't just grab some, they aren't qualified. So if that helps a little, it's one of them things, I mean, I use the words necessary evils, but that's what we have to do. And we do real well in McLeod County. I wish the state could say the same, but.
Thank you.
Any other, I got lost here a little bit. Do we have a motion and a second or just a motion?
We do. We do.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
And then item J, consider approving the 2026 final McLeod County property tax levy and budget. The preliminary levy was set at $30,153,997 and was approved by the board on September 9th, 2025. This reflected a 2.5% increase over the 2025 tax levy. And I do want to mention that that was the lowest increase in the state of Minnesota for 2026. And as discussed at the Truth and Taxation meeting on December 2nd, 2025, the increase in the levy will be allocated to the Road and Bridge Fund.
Very good, and that's, Colleen is right, but we don't know if other boards lowered theirs since that time, so we're not sure, but we're very proud of our 2.5%. And how we did it through with road and bridge and transportation. I guess I don't have anything else to say other than, there's always room for improvement, and we're always looking at that as well. I just commend you. Colleen works really hard. She figures them upside down, backwards, sideways, and we get to see really, really good information. We don't always have to like it, but it's there.
Thanks, Doug.
Mr. Chair, am I allowed?
Go ahead.
I want to just reiterate, if it weren't for Colleen Roback, our finance director, you wouldn't be seeing that levy increase rate. She does know the information and she takes her time. She works very, very hard. And for someone to take the time to do that and provide the information to the county board is how that's possible. But I also just want to note that a 2.5% levy this year doesn't mean that that's possible next year. Because I've had a lot of questions from the public, and it may be lower, but it may also be higher, and that's just dependent on so many different factors. So since there were so many questions from the public the last couple of weeks when I've been out and about, I just want to note that that's what I've been sharing with them, to the county board, that, yes, it is great that we had the lowest preliminary levy. We don't know what other final levies are for counties, but that there's so many factors involved. So thank you, Colleen, for everything that you do to help give that information to the county board to make good decisions.
Yes, and again, it's something you have to start early on. I mean, it's a little deceiving. I mean, there's roads and bridges to fix in the county. And if we're gonna do that, it costs money. So you have to figure out, I mean, the public and, that we serve, probably, they need to be in on some of that decision-making on whether we want to take on projects, and that's all year project, or maybe more than a year, what we qualify for. But we're here today, And I'm very proud of the 2.5, so the board wishes, I'll turn it over to the
Yeah.
rest.
Make some further comments on that. As we set this 2.5%, then it is undoubtedly something to admire that we can sit here with the 2.5%, which we could assume will be the lowest in the state. In reference to, are we taking a number that is too low versus what's coming down the pipe? We can't determine that. That was a lesson learned many years ago where we didn't judge properly what was forecasted in the future, and I think we've done everything that we can to try and brace for that. So this is a very firm number. And hopefully we can continue to follow with that in years to come, but we can't control the mandates, and we can't control many of the factors that we have to balance out here. If we look at the road and bridge account, that is the only account that we have that has fallen just slightly under our policy expectations, and so that is where we want the levy increase to go. Commissioner Kruger and I sat with Andrew Engel, our Public Works Director, about a month and a half ago, and tried to wrap our arms around some of the costs with some roads to try and get a good view of things, and that helped reaffirm our commitment to what we're coming forward with today. Within the last week, I had some continuing conversations with Andrew, and just a couple other things to throw in there. With the weather that we've had the last couple weeks, we've already burned through over 25% of our salt supply. And we're only halfway through December. So that is, something that we have to just prepare for. We've got a long ways to go. Other costs, we have several bridges in the county that are in need of repair. I have 2 of them in my district between Penn Township and Round Grove that have actually had their load limits lowered. And with a major state project of the roundabout in my district coming up, that's going to be a concern with traffic. There is a huge shortage of the state by funding these bridges through the local bridge replacement fund. These bridges are about $850,000 each. We have about $6 million worth of bridges to replace within the next 5 years. And if the state does not step forward to further fund that, those bridge efforts through this, and this is statewide, and of course we do know what their budget forecasts say, we're going to have to dip into our own funds in order to take care of this. And that is going to be some definite factors in how we budget for those roads. We have 400 miles of roads. So big thank you to Andrew for doing a fantastic job of managing those projects, but there are some things that are beyond our control as we need to generate very safe and a very good road system here. So I think we've done our due diligence here, and I'm very confident in our work in presenting this number today.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright. Nathan or Commissioner Small?
Mr. Chair, I will just try to say that, legislatively, when we go to conferences and we have a legislator in attendance, or let's say with even Prime West recently with our legislative forums that were held, the messaging has to be clear from the counties, and we are clear that we do not want cost shifts coming down from state and federal government. When that happens, they have to realize that we have no resources available to cover those cost shifts other than to tax or increase our levy. So a consistent message is important, and the realization that legislators have and the knowledge that, what a cost shift means to a county. So I just wanted to highlight that factor, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Lori?
I just want to say thank you to everyone. I know setting budgets is never fun, never easy, and it's not something that anybody ever wants to do is raise, taxes or that sort of thing. I appreciate the low figure coming in, and, we do the best we can, and like Paul said, roads and bridges, I think, seem to be the place that needs some help. But, again, thank you. It's not easy, so thanks.
Okay, one last thing that I thought as Commissioner Wright was talking, I've had the Townships Association and a number of other people asking, why we're not getting to XYZ road. They're not they're not qualified, my words again, not, you know, and they don't have the crash numbers or the vehicle numbers to be subject to, grant money. And if the time comes, I mean, I'm sympathetic, and quite understanding to what some of our people are saying. I have some in my district with no shoulders. And what I'm trying to get to is to tie these levies, they're a little deceivable in that aspect, that if we have to do that work, that is our only avenue to revenue. And that's what we have to do. In fact, I have talked to Andrew about it. It takes a lot more preparation than 1 year. I brought it up to him this year. Couldn't we start doing this? Well, it takes, I guess realistically, 2 years of planning before you can even doing it out of your own pocket or out of the county's funds, and a little disheartening for me. But that seems to be the fact. And that's what I wanted to relay. Some of these numbers, you know, you can read them two ways, but again, we have reserves. Colleen has done some, we're mandated to have reserves. We're trying to hold them. I'm pretty staunch and stubborn about not spending reserves. I just think times are possibly gonna get tougher than they are now, so I appreciate that in holding our levy at where it is. However, we've learned by past experiences that there comes a time where there's things you have to do, and this is our only avenue to that. I ask for growth, and that's a big ask, but through economic development, and we have 212 now, and some other things, I don't like to see the tax burden to whether it's a business owner or to a homeowner. Some are strapped on fixed income that they can't pay no more money. I get that. But comparing some other counties around us with big growth, that helps a lot. You know, if we could get some growth. So I have been putting some emphasis on growth and trying to get some compromise from whether we're building a home or a business. And hopefully that'll pay off, if not in my time and time to come, if we set our infrastructure and our plans right. So I have no more, I don't believe.
Mr. Chair, I'll make, I'll make a motion that we go forward with a 2.5% levy increase.
Motion has been made by Commissioner Wright to set the 1926 final property tax levy at 2.5. Is there a second?
Commissioner,
Pardon?
you need to reread the year, please. Sorry.
The final? What am I missing?
You said 19.
It'll be the final 1920, or the final levy at, property tax levy at 2.5. Is there a second?
I'll second, Mr. Chair.
A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item K, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on Tuesday, December 30th, 2025 at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota, unless no further business is needed. I would assume since the levy has been set that there may not be a meeting that day, but I will leave that to the chair after the next notification. Item L, notification of board workshop following the board meeting on Tuesday, January 6, 2026 at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North, Glencoe, Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you. As far as K goes, wishes of the board, I don't like to leave it hanging. I mean, if The only reason that we would, in my opinion, there's no reason we'd need a board meeting unless it's an emergency. And if we have to do the emergency, we'd follow that emergency plan. I just don't want to get mixed messages that we're going to have a board meeting, because I don't have anything, and I'm open to suggestions if you think we should leave it on the calendar.
I would appreciate not having it. I'm doing court that day, so it would be a fine line with me trying to get to both places, if there's nothing that isn't an emergency.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I have nothing, and I don't want to have a meeting to have a meeting. And if an emergency comes up, we'll have to follow procedures for an emergency meeting. That would happen anytime, so, but
Mr. Chair, I have nothing that I know of at this time.
so is that a motion not to not have our December, or just to cancel our, what date is that? December 30th meeting?
I can move that if Commissioner Wright's agreeable.
Yep.
Is there a
Sounds good.
second?
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Small, seconded by Commissioner Wright to not have our meeting on December 30th because all business has been conducted today. On the 16th, I have nothing and nothing in the wings that I would guess that could come up. So any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, we've come close to the end of our meeting. Open forum. Anybody wish to address the board? Sure. You're under press, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm under press, so. Just on the nurses' contract, I see Hannah just stepped out. I was hoping she would be here. Was that a flat rate increase or a percentage-based increase, like $1 an hour? Or was it something like 3% or whatever on the nurses' contract?
The contract just adopts the recommended wage increases. It's a renewal contract. And so it's not it's not a certain percent or certain dollar amount for every person. They're different depending on how long they've been here, and where they fit in our pay matrix. So it's kind of complicated.
Okay, I don't believe a copy of the contract was in the board
It won't
packet.
be in there until it's completed because they need to ratify the contract. So we're asking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is why, and because it was added. So we asked the county
Okay.
board today to approve their side of it, which it was our offer, our final
Okay.
offer to them with a change on one item regarding weeks for resignation.
Okay.
And then once they ratify their contract, then it will come back to us, and it won't be executed until the county attorney signs it after that, and then
Okay.
you would see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so.
Hopefully
we'll
that
see it
helps,
later.
and if you
Okay.
need more information, I'd
Just
be
a-
happy to
Just a
talk.
question on what was involved there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the
Thank you for
question.
asking.
Did you address the board? Would you come forward, state your name?
Good day, everyone. When I ran as a candidate, I ran off the Constitution and the limited,
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
oh, sorry, Doyle Benson from Collins Township.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I ran as a follower of the Constitution of the United States. And so from that, we have there's some people with some concerns that maybe not all of it's being followed, but the point is that in March 5th of last year, 2024, we had petitions given out to each of the county commissioners. And if I may approach and give a copy, especially to Lori, not that Lori was listed on here, but anybody who wants a copy.
Make sure Ryan gets one. I still have mine.
Still got them.
So with the limited government, it's, we the people tend to come up a lot. So we the people means limited government, meaning the grassroots person has the power. And the United States was built upon that. And we want to continue that so that everybody can be as equal or be as equal as possible and not have a government that's way above the rest of the people. But some of the things that were listed in here in this petition was the adopting of the true county assessing, number 4, without a vote from we the people. That was one of them that was listed in there. Also on number 5, that the townships, there were and now pretty much all of them, but there were 14 townships and 2 cities that were stripped of their assessors, and that was without the people's consent. So I did cross off one name on 2 of the 3 different places, just as a signal that Commissioner Commissioner Luthen's is not here anymore on Earth here. So there was nothing hidden by that. But anyway, this petition was given to the board on March 5th, 2024, and there has not been any response back. So we're just kind of wondering why that has happened. So with some of the issues that we're still concerned about is with the buffer strip. Why is there the acquisition of the buffer strip and the 1099 that comes with it, where it's the 1099 reads proceeds from real estate transaction? You know, I'm wondering, did everybody get that 1099? Was everybody treated equally? And the reason I asked that is at the Collins annual township meeting, I had asked my representative there, has he ever seen a 1099, one of those 1099s, and he denied it. Does that mean some people got it, some people didn't, or some people have land that's, you know, that was acquired, some people don't? What does that mean? And also, in order to keep the grassroots as strong as possible in the United States or in this area, we at Collins Township has passed a resolution to elect a constable and justice of peace. I was wondering if each one of you commissioners would support that. Having a constable and justice of peace, because that's how the United States ran for over 150 years.
Mr. Benson, the only thing here, I mean, you're commenting on an open forum, and I appreciate that, and I'm open to all the questions. However, I really don't want to change precedents and have a question and answer session to each. I mean, I have a response to several of these, but pursuant to what Ryan would say, I knew you had called in for the agenda because I set the agenda. I would prefer these questions to go to whatever you prefer, to the agenda or to the workshop. So these could be posted with different bullet points so we can get them answered.
So,
I mean, I would be, if I interact, and I'm speaking for myself now as the chair, if I interact, we're changing precedents to open forum. because that's why we have agendas, to take up subjects. And some do open forums ahead of the meeting so they can either vote on putting it in an agenda or not. And, I mean, because that is the rules, but, you understand where I'm coming from?
Sure. And so the other side of comments that I wanted to make is that we're entering another big election year, and I personally denounce or do not approve of the new style of election that has occurred since COVID. Since COVID, the ballots, I do not approve of ballots being counted here. I do believe that's a conflict of interest, especially like since I ran on small limited government. That's just my opinion. But I also have, I also disapprove of having so many ballots available that we can't keep them all straight. I also do not approve of starting to count ballots before the election date. And I also do not approve of the computerized counting. So with all that in mind, I kind of tend to know that if everything keeps going and nobody says anything, that means a yes. And I'm saying, no, I do not approve of this. And so I ask for you guys to look into that and changing or having some different ideas. Do the precincts have to have the computerized counting? Can we just go back to paper ballots? I do not approve of the computerized. I promote the paper ballots. So I wanted to say those things. Like I said, if we don't speak up, everything keeps going forward with nothing. Everything just keeps moving forward, and we tend not to have any say in it. So, like I said, I want to keep. I'm here, or I want to promote keeping the power to the small person, the townships, and the precincts area. So that's my request.
Thank you, and everything you said is duly noted, and I think our administrator, we have a time date on the agenda, and if you want to pursue it from there, I'd appreciate, either there's a workshop forum and there's the meeting forum on how we proceed with some of these. And again, I don't want to change precedents, but the only thing I will say on my own behalf is that I take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and I've taken it as a Marine, and I've taken it as a commissioner, and I do not take it lightly. All right, any other public comment or press? Do you have anything else? Are you good?
No, just that one.
Right, and you can reach out to Hannah or.
After it's wrapped up.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll look for a motion to recess till our next county board meeting. On Tuesday, January 6th, at the McLeod County Government Center, 520 Chandler Avenue North in Glencoe, Minnesota. Motion made by Commissioner Chaska to recess. Is there a second?
Second, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We are recessed, and Merry Christmas.
So a bunch of these planning and zoning documents are from when Joe was here, you were a month ago. I don't think we can backdate them, just sign
think that's fine, especially,
Yeah,
I was
just sign
vice
them
chair
and just
anyway,
put
and
to